in Hartford! We are live for Game Changer Wrestling Dream On 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 27 of TEW X GCW. And as always, let's get started with our scramble bout from the Webster. Introducing first, Ben Bishop. Introducing second, Cold Brew Cappuccino Jones. Introducing third, he is flying Ryan O'Neal. Introducing fourth, she is the Nomi Gabby Forza. Introducing fifth, he is the People's Babushka, Jeffrey John. And introducing your sixth and final participant, he is the real deal Teriyaki. Segment rating of a 12. Fuck me. And up that subpar wrestling in Little Heat, Teriyaki defeated Cap Jones, Flying Ryan O'Neal, Gabby Forza, Jeffrey John, and Ben Bishop in 11.9 when Yaki submitted Bishop. 42, 33, 29, 36, 35, 47 for Bishop, Jones, O'Neal, Forza, John, and Yaki. Yaki was off his game with a 47, highest in the match. 37, 18, 38 for the wrestling crowd and segment. We would then see Vipers backstage visibly nervous about her upcoming Ultraviolent Championship rematch against Matt Tremont. We would then see Nick Gage, Nino Extremo, and Sigurd the Clown walk in and provide encouragement. All three would bid adieu and leave as they prepare for their Game Changer Wrestling World Championship Eliminator match. And also, it is official. Next week at Hope to Die, it will be Matt Tremont defending his Ultraviolent Championship against Vipers 29. We would then hear a masked man in a distorted voice. We are not present, and we won't be present for a long time. So, if you want the Game Changer World Wrestling Championship back, then you're gonna have to cut a deal. We're gonna ship this to you, Brett Lauderdale. But we want Effie when we say. The hooded figures and the hooded woman make it clear that they are coming for the world title and for Effie. 35 segment rating. In a decent match, Sam Stackhouse and KJ Orso defeated Ruckus and Too Tough Tony in 14:02. When KJ Orso pinned Too Tough Tony with a character assassination pile driver, Orso and Stackhouse make defense number 9 of the tag titles. Too Tough Tony was the weak link. 61, 55, 32, 44 for Stackhouse, Orso, Tony, and Ruckus. 48, 31, 54 for the wrestling crowd and segment. As we are moments away from Effie's title defense, but we would hear a loud bang. They would walk outside the locker room to see the Game Changer Wrestling World Championship with a message written on it. It says HMAAWNAIIAI. What does that mean? Who knows? Danhausen. Well, who cares? At least I got my title back. Effie snatches the title. My title. 7 segment rating for Effie, Danhausen, Ronan Reyes, Iguana, and Phil Shark, and the meat market sitting in the corner because they are now forced to be there to be around Ronan. Fuck, that was awful. About that, great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Effie defeated Gavin Ash in 11:37 by pinfall with the Fire Thunder pile driver. Effie makes defense number 4 of the Game Changer Wrestling World Championship. 62 and 53 for Effie and Ash. 58, 30, 58 for the wrestling crowd and segment. We would then see the lights begin flashing before all 3 members of the hooded figures would walk out, before Ray Robinson walks out with another one, the hooded woman. All 5 men would jump Effie before leaving. 51, the Hooded Woman performed poorly. 51 segment rating though. And about that, had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Ray Robinson defeated Jimmy fucking Lord in 11:39 by pinfall with a headlock driver. The match was designed to calm the crowd down. Ray Robinson makes defense number 2 of the JCW World title. 65-44 for Ray and Lloyd. 55-41, 53-4 wrestling crowd and segment. As we move on, we would see Charles Mason make his way to the ring. He would complain that he never got his rematch against Gringo Loco for the JCW World title. So he's gonna get his rematch at Hope to Die. The 64 segment rating. MLJ would announce the first 2 participants of the Eliminator, and they are the Boss of the Plains, the one called Manders, and the product of violence, Nino Extremo. 38 segment rating. In a decent match, one called Manders defeated Nino Extremo by 8-11. Excuse me, in 8-11 by pinfall. 59-45 for Nino and Manders. Nino gritted his teeth and worked through his injury without affecting the match, so he actually did awesome. 52-35, 52. As we move on, entrant number 1/3 is the Mad Dog Connolly. 32. In a decent match, one called Manders defeated Mad Dog Connolly in 6:15 by submission. The match was designed to calm the crowd. Poorly placed. 56-43 for Manders and Connolly. 59-54 for the wrestling 29 crowd and segment. The 4th entrant is the Silver Sun Savant KJ Orso. 60 segment rating. And about that, Suburb Wrestling in Good Heat. KJ Orso, who has already wrestled, defeats the one called Manders in 808 by pinfall with a 450 splash. We also saw Sam Stackhouse attack Manders. 59-74 Manders and Orso. 64-46, 67 for the wrestling crowd and segment. And our 5th entrant is the finest, Marcus Mathers. And about that, Suburb Wrestling in Good Heat. KJ Orso defeated Marcus Mathers in 9:44 by pinfall with a 450 splash. 69-49, 70 as KJ gets a 70 and Mathers gets a 68. This might be our highest to date in terms of pure GCW guys, as we have a segment rating of 70. And 6th, it is Little Sicko the Clown. 75 segment rating. Sicko is fucking awesome. And out that great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Little Sicko defeats KJ Orso in 7:41, 72-54 KJ and Sicko. Wrestling 61-38 crowd, 65 segment. Next up, number 7 is Sturdy Sal Mistretta with a 63. Damn. And about that, a decent reaction, but a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Little Sicko defeated Sturdy in 6-12 by pinfall. 41-31 for Sicko and Sal. Sal was off his game, and they did not seem to click. 36-28, 37. And next, it's the bad boy, Joey Janela with a 57. And Little Sicko takes him down, 13-38 by submission. Sicko over Janela. 43-36, 43 for Sicko, or excuse me, for wrestling crowd and segment. 42 and 46 for Sicko and Janela. And do you hear it? And his opponent, the 9th and final participant from National Park, New Jersey, with an official weight of 203.5 pounds, representing that Murder, Death, Kill Gang worldwide, and representing for all his boys locked in the fucking cell, Eastern Bloc, and representing for the motherfucking Hate Club, rest in peace, Big Nate Hatred, and rest in peace, his brother, Justice Payne. And you know what it is. It's MDK all fucking day. The man, the king, the fucking god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage. And it's a fucking death match for the #1 contendership for the Game Changer Wrestling World Championship. It's Nick Gage versus Little Sicko the Clown. 58. And then about that, great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Little Sicko defeats Nick fucking Gage in a death match in 15-20 by pinfall. Sicko 49, Gage 74, 62 wrestling, 40 crowd, 64 segment. Little Sicko the Clown is on fucking top of Game Changer Wrestling 64 segment rating. As we see Little Sicko call his shot at Effie and let him know that he's not coming lightly. 56 segment rating as Little Sicko, his best performance to date, and he's on fucking fire. As we finish with a fine show, surprisingly, for how bad some of these segments were, but I guess we had some really good segments as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been episode 27 of TEW X GCW, as we were live from the Webster with Game Changer Wrestling Dream On 2026. I would like to thank you for watching.